Welcome back to Strictly Sports. With me here is Charles, Aka as usual, and a new comer in KB. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. What's the vibe, guys?
We all know the vibe now. Liverpool don't come out. Their quadruple hopes have been slashed. Isn't that a wonderful thing?
I'm very sure there'll be lots of cooking to be done if they had not done them already. So, just.
Well, funny enough, nobody on this podcast.
When you say cooking, KB, what do you mean?
Exactly, that's what I was about to say. Funny enough, nobody on
this.
this podcast can cook Liverpool because we have a Barcelona fan here who just had a miserable season, and we have two Manchester United fans here who also had miserable seasons.
Hold on, please. I'm not a Manchester.
What do you mean by a miserable season for a Barcelona fan? A Barcelona team that is just going through a new process of development and everything. What do you mean?
Unfortunately, it's not anybody's family problem.
What did you win this season? What did you win this season aside from we beat Real Madrid 4-0? That's the trophy you lifted, right?
No, nobody lifted it. Beating Madrid 4-0
we beat Real Madrid 4-0. That's your trophy for the season.
It's not a trophy. Well, apparently, if Liverpool had maybe done that against Real Madrid, they would have lifted the trophy too.
But Liverpool did the domestic cup.
They would have won the UEFA Champions League.
Yeah, but we didn't. So we didn't win. Yeah. So we did not win the Champions League, but we had an extremely good season. Season that everybody would take.
Lost the league title by 1 point.
I want to ask you guys one question.
Okay.
Who is the second person that went to the moon? Who is the second man or woman or animal that was on the moon? You know the person.
No.
Nobody.
No.
The second. Nobody gives.
No. I'm not saying we had a good season because we carried second. No, we had a good season because we won 2 trophies and we're in the running to win. Whether we won the other 2, we won 2 for sure. Like they're in our cabinet. Yeah. So it's not because we took second or whatever.
Chelsea had a better season than
Chelsea had a better season.
If that's your analogy, Chelsea, yes, the trophies they won are
if
more
that's
important.
my analogy, Chelsea had a better season than Liverpool.
Obviously.
Yes,
Are you a joker?
I want 2 trophies now.
Where were you?
Where were you?
No, but the Super Cup
That's
is just a one fixture cup.
That's shocking.
Bro.
It's just a one fixture cup. So I'm struggling to see how the Super Cup is more important than the FA
Chelsea
Cup.
had a better season.
Why
That's
didn't they
shocking.
win?
Chelsea are the world champions. Do you realize Chelsea are the world champions?
Okay.
Do you people even realize Chelsea are the current world champions?
But okay. So
Do you
regarding
realize
the Champions League final match, there was the first goal that was scored by Benzema was ruled out for offside. Do you guys think that goal should have stood?
Well,
Okay.
Well, on first thought, I ruled it out as an offside. But the problem was the excuse they gave, the officials, the excuse they gave was that it was an unintentional hit back to Benzema by Fabinho. So I know the rules of football states that if the player plays it back, it is taken as a back pass. And obviously, we are not debating that Benzema was in an offside position. Yes, the rule states that once keeper is ahead of the player, the last player becomes the goalkeeper, like is counted as the goalkeeper. So Benzema was obviously in an offside position. We are not debating that. But the problem here is from how did the ball get to Benzema?
Yes. So I think what happened yesterday, right, is a perfect perfect use of the offside rule. There were 2 rules that were important yesterday. The number 1 rule was one you mentioned, where if the goalkeeper is ahead of the attacker, then there have to be 2 outfield players behind the attacker for him to not be ruled offside. But the other rule, there's a rule. It has to do with intention, with a back pass. How you define a back pass and a deflection. If the ball hits the defender, right, and he's unaware of the trajectory of the ball, right? It's
No,
ruled
but
as a deflection.
but wait. I understand.
Okay,
I understand.
wait,
This. The problem is there was two ricochet. It wasn't that.
Yeah, which were ruled as deflections.
Wait.
There was a goal that happened a couple of years ago. I think it was with Giroud and Ozil, Mesut Ozil, where Mesut Ozil delivered a crossfield pass where it went through a defender's legs, and defender touched it, but they were like, it was ruled an intentional back pass, not a deflection. But you see, when you look at it, you look at where Fabio was facing.
I want to ask you. You know when the ball hit Konate, it went forward. It wasn't going back again. It went forward.
Exactly. It went forward. Then hit Fabio
and went back.
Yes, but when the Real Madrid player initially touched the ball, right? The initial touch, right? Before it got to Benzema the second time, when he touched it, right? Benzema was in an offside position, right? So between when he touched the ball and when Benzema touched the ball to score, right? The two touches by the Liverpool players were both ruled as deflections in and of themselves. They don't join both teams and say, okay, it was intentional by both players. They were both different deflections.
All right. I get what you are saying, right? So if you now hit a third Liverpool player and still get Benzema, that's still an offside or not?
Yes, it's still a deflection. Assuming
of 10 players and he goes to Benzema, it's a deflection.
Assuming Fabio had tried to clear the ball, right, and it was a miscue like what Reina did a few years ago, and it goes back to Benzema, then that's intentional. However mistaken it was, it's still an intentional. It's not a deflection. He tried to play the ball. Do you understand?
Wonderful stuff. Well, the good thing about it is that it didn't affect the outcome of the match. Because,
and like Raymond says, maybe the rules need to be changed. But as of right now, that's how the offside rules are phrased. So it's down to the interpretation of the referee.
It's very subjective. That's what I don't like about it. Even when you do so many of these VAR calls, you still find out, like, there's this match that people used to change, especially Emily. Remember Man U against Nottingham Forest? This guy tapped the ball with his hand. That he was there, he tapped it with his hand, controlled it, then passed to his player that scored, and he said that was a goal. I do not understand how that works. Like, what is now the point of the VAR? What is the point? So there are still so many subjective things in football so far.
The problem with officiating, in my opinion, the biggest problem with officiating, in my opinion, is consistency. Like, they really, really lack consistency. If there's consistency here, we would be able to relate that, oh, okay, once this happens, this is what's going. But like, there's hardly ever consistency. Yeah. But at the same time,
I think this has to do.
But me,
I think this has
personally
to do
for this call, like, I think, I don't know, the referee, like, whatever he decided would have been fine with me. Because, like,
I think this has to do with the quality of refereeing in England and the quality of refereeing in the rest of Europe. Let's not forget, this is a Champions League game, right? So let's not use the way they judge or apply the rules in England, which is most of the time very wrong, to judge this kind of match. It was the way they applied this rule was perfect. Assuming something like this happened in the group stages and it was applied wrongly, then you can say so. Well, most of the wrong calls and the wrong applications we see are in the Premier League, where today you see intentional handball given as penalty. Tomorrow they say he touched him on the downside of the shoulder, so it's not a penalty. So I think what we should be looking at is the officiating in England, particularly first, before we even look at UEFA as a whole. The officiating in England has been atrocious for 20 to 30 years.
I think another thing, because most of the focus is on English football. Most of the football that we all watch is in the Premier League. But I'm sure you still see some of these kind of goals in Serie A or in the French league, where because of how they put it down, their TV rights, we don't get to watch as many matches. But I'm very sure that there's still inconsistencies all over. So if FIFA and the IFAB and all the stakeholders cannot get very solid, objective reasoning for all their refereeing decisions, then you still have this kind of issues in the future. That's just what I think.
Okay. Moving on. Can you guys explain what happened on the final day of the Premier League? You know, it was going also swimmingly for Aston Villa. They scored 37 minutes, 69 minutes, and all of a sudden it seemed like money had exchanged hands, and Man City scored 3 goals in 5 minutes.
It's football. Football happens. Like once Man City scored that first goal, that 2-1 at that time, obviously the momentum was always going to be with them. So I always expect once immediately they scored the first goal, it was just about the first goal. So once they scored that first goal, I had that feeling that they were going to win the game. Like obviously, even before they scored the first goal, I think it was around the same time, or like they even started their comeback before Liverpool scored the second goal. So like there was never really a point where Liverpool were winning. Yeah, there was never really a point where Liverpool were winning.
You know, I always come on this show and bash Pep Guardiola, but he made two excellent substitutions. He first put in Raheem Sterling for Mahrez, and he put Gundogan for Bernardo Silva. And those are the two subs that basically changed the match. Gundogan scored a brace, and Raheem Sterling assisted one of the goals, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
So he's a great manager, yeah.
It's not anything.
I won't go as far as saying he's a great manager, but that was intelligent.
There are only two managers on your list of great managers. So.
Yeah, you know me. There are only 2 managers on my list. There's Carlo Ancelotti and there's Jose Mourinho. Those are the 2 best managers in world football right now.
Mark, I've taken notes. Don't worry about this. I'm doing this later on in the future. Maybe you wanted to say something.
I was just saying it's not surprising to see Pep Guardiola make those changes, and those changes affecting the match, putting in good results. He's arguably the best manager in the world, to me, my personal opinion. Or let me just say one of the best managers in the world. So I don't feel in this era of football somebody should look down on Pep Guardiola's I don't know. I don't want to even say the achievements. I want to say his current results and everything. He's a wonderful manager. So I don't know why Rotin said he was actually surprised, or he doesn't. I don't know why he said that. But apparently he doesn't rate Pep Guardiola. It's his own opinion. And the good thing about life is, well, everybody has his own opinion. So that's what we wanted to do. Okay, so I was actually bothered about something. What's going to happen to Sadio Mane now after the Champions League final? Is he leaving or is he staying?
Nobody knows,
we're expecting him to say something, but nothing yet.
Nobody knows.
Okay, so
I saw some stuff about.
I'm posing this question to you as a Liverpool fan. Would you like Sadio Mane to stay, or are you cool with him leaving your club?
I'll respond by saying one thing. Once I say that one thing, you know my answer. Sadio Mane is top 5 winners in the world. So would I want a top 5 winger? Would I want a top 5 winger in the world at my club? I think I would. Yeah. Someone that has experience, someone that's played together with the team. They have chemistry. Like they know they can be successful. They've been successful together. Why would I want him to leave?
Yeah, so something recently came across my notice. I think it was towards the end of the Champions League final. I saw a tweet saying that club should take off Salah, because Salah has the trend of consistently underperforming in the biggest games, and it struck me as a little biased and maybe unfair on Mo Salah's part. But if you look at his stats in the Champions League as a whole, I think throughout the knockout stages he has only scored maybe 1 or 2 goals. So is it truly unfair to say club should have taken him off? Because I think in the second half, Mo Salah was the most dangerous Liverpool player. So what do you guys think?
You can't take one of your best players off in the Champions League final. He had at least 3 or 4 shots on target. He was
he had 6 shots on target actually. A record. Yeah, so, he made a record yesterday. The highest amount of shots on target any player has ever played in the Champions League final. 6.
And no goal.
And no goal. Yeah, no goal.
So like he was dangerous. He wasn't. I still maintain that he didn't play. He could have played better, but he was always dangerous. Him and Mane were probably our most dangerous players, so there was zero need to take him off.
Yeah,
I think Klopp, to be honest, I think Klopp made the right substitutions, but like him bringing on Firmino like energized the team. Him bringing on Keita maybe didn't work out, but Keita was like much later, like 80 plus minutes, I think. So
yeah, talking about Liverpool's attackers, that was such a terrible game to have your worst game of the season. Luis Diaz was atrocious for some portions of the game before he went off. He lost possession. He was out of ideas when on the ball.
Yeah, his dribbles were increasing too. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, the problem was
maybe don't put it down to Luis Diaz. Maybe we have to praise like Carvajal and Militao.
Yeah, Carvajal had the time of his life, especially when Luis Diaz was on. He was joining forward. He moved the ball well. He was supported. Sometimes I couldn't even tell if it was Carvajal on the ball or Valverde on the ball. That's how far ahead Carvajal was with the ball sometimes.
The thing is, you can never tell what the results would be, but I said it yesterday, I would have preferred Jota because Jota is more of a good trait. They have different game patterns. Luis Diaz is more of this driver. He likes driving with the ball. He can take on a player. He's very good one-on-one. But his end product
is stronger and all of that.
No. Luis Diaz is not stronger than Jota. Jota is the stronger one. Jota is the stronger one, more dangerous. Yeah. If you look at that, you know Jota is strong. Luis Diaz is not strong. In fact, that was what Carvajal used against him very well yesterday. Once Luis Diaz gets out, Carvajal just starts putting pressure, and that's all. He gets his balance of the game. And I feel Jota would have given more end product yesterday. Honestly speaking, Jota is known for end product.
But Mane also drifted out of the game towards the, let's say, after the 60th minute.
This was what happened, Ba. Immediately Jota came on, Ba. I was watching Bo Akachuku yesterday. I told him that it would be better if Mane drifts wide, and then Jota goes to the center. It will be better because Mane is going to be a very good match for Carvajal. Speed,
and it happened now towards the end.
It happened towards the end, and they actually got chances. You can see, honestly speaking, Madrid were just Madrid. I told Aka, I was trying to explain it to you, Aka, throughout, but this is how Madrid plays every time. You outplay them, they will get only maybe 2-3 chances, but they will score, and that's all. You're not winning the match. That has been Madrid.
Vinicius' goal was his only shot.
Only yesterday. Vinicius' goal, but Madrid had only 4 shots on target, I think. Was it 4 shots or 4 on target? I can't even remember the start yesterday. Just imagine 4 shots on target.
Vinicius, 1 shot.
They had only 1 shot on target.
They had only 1 shot on target, but 1 shot on target. That's 4 shots, 1 on target, but Salah alone had 6 shots on target. 6. That's how Madrid plays. They will not play. And look at Madrid. I'm not taking anything away from Madrid.
They played well. They played well. Possession was.
They played well. No, get me right. They played well, but their game. If you look at the way they play against the way their opponents play, you will also feel their opponent deserves better than the result their opponents got. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's why they have the quality.
And the experience, the know-how,
experience alone does not do this thing. There's also luck on their side. You have to understand it. There's also luck on their side.
Sure, there's always an element
in a full match.
I don't think there was a lot of luck about yesterday. I don't think Liverpool played well enough. Like Salah had 6 shots on target, but like how many were really threatening?
I think just about
Liverpool. I don't think Liverpool played well enough.
There was one excellent save by Courtois on Mane, and there was another excellent save by Courtois on Salah.
Okay, let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. On a good day, there were 3 chances that would have been scored by Liverpool. On a good day, then Courtois. Madrid will have 3 players on excellent form. Yes, how many players were on excellent form yesterday? They have like maybe 4 or 5. On excellent form, one of the players would stop everything from happening. If Courtois was not on excellent form, would have.
But you know Benzema balled, yeah. You know Benzema balled well yesterday.
But the funniest part is, I think if you look at the quarterfinals and the semi-finals, that was probably Benzema's poorest game in all 5 games. That was probably his poorest game. But I don't think they needed Benzema to beat Benzema that
He
much.
held up
I think
the
that was
ball
the game plan.
so well.
Great
Like maybe you guys didn't notice it. Maybe you guys didn't notice it. But I watched from what I watched, Madrid were Madrid. See, when Madrid gets the ball, you're not going to find it easy to get it out of their hands. And that's Liverpool's game. Liverpool's game is counter-pressing and win the ball high up the field. But then you don't need this. But these Madrid players don't need to be extreme quality. What they need to do is hold the ball, which is what they are extremely good at.
I noticed.
It's just going to be like normal for them. Now you see how the shots on target were back. You see how the shots on target. Yeah. You see how the shot on target count was back. Now possession was 50-50. So can you see that these guys will hold the ball even if they don't attack enough? They will hold the ball. You're not going to get the ball out of their hands so easily. And then when Liverpool were with possession, Liverpool were not dangerous enough. Do you understand? So I don't feel like there was. How many times were Madrid really threatened? How many times were they threatened? Even set pieces, they were comfortable. Do you understand? Most of our crossing was poor. Like most of the things Courtois saved, you expected him to save them. Do you understand?
Yes, I agree.
He didn't make any save that you can point to and say, "Oh wow, this is an extremely good save."
Looking at the match,
Mane save. Yeah. Except the Mane save. Mane save was it was just that Mane save. Yeah, it was
looking at the match, right? Who would you guys say, aside if you are going to take Courtois out of it because he was obviously the man of the match, who would you guys say was Madrid's best outfield player?
Carvalho.
Outfield player. It should be Carvalho.
I'm tempted to say Valverde because there were some driving runs that Valverde made particularly in the second half.
You guys said Madrid only had 4 or 5 players that played well. Cruz, Alaba was one of the best players yesterday. I don't know if any other person noticed it.
He made a tackle, but the tackle was offside. He made a very good tackle, but the ball was offside, so it didn't matter.
So composed. Casemiro too, Modric, Cruz.
Casemiro had a lot of good tackles.
Abeg, there's no such thing as luck in this game. Madrid played well enough. They defended when they needed to defend, attacked when they needed to attack. I
want to raise one. Okay, so remember Arnold was wearing spider net on his head. How far now?
Neuroscience.
Bro, he has they've obviously been doing that thing throughout this season. They just posted a picture before this match and everybody is like, this one, that one.
Oh, are you serious? I thought they were putting it so that we'll feel threatened that more the new technology.
He's the neuro guys that have been working on set pieces with them now since last season itself. So obviously,
it's not even just since last season. It's I think about 2 Januaries ago where they hired that it wasn't just a corner specialist. There was a throwing specialist as well from Germany. Klopp hired a ton of them.
Mentality monsters.
Who do you guys think was the flop of the match? Someone that should not have come into the stadium.
Keita annoyed me yesterday, Sha. I felt he should have.
The starters, Arnold messed up. He said pieces were useless, and that was usually his threat.
But it wasn't just Arnold on the set pieces. It was also Robertson. I think they played a couple of out-swinging corners from the left that Robertson played, yeah? So he I think most of his deliveries didn't even go past the first man. It was shocking.
Actually, Madrid defended well. Madrid are known for...
but there's something they say. There's something they say in coaching school.
I don't know, sure.
There's something they say in coaching school regarding your set pieces, right? Try and get it past the first man. And Robertson consistently failed to get it past the first man. That's as in he gave Van Dijk and Canute no chance on the ball. Sometimes
that's why I'm not even
put it in a dangerous position for them to not
because
the ball.
Bro, this is not even her. How many times have I watched Liverpool play way better than this season? They played crap and in Champions League final and you expect to win.
Speaking of the Champions League final, UEFA managed to turn themselves into the bad guys once again. Did you guys hear about what happened entering into the game?
Yeah, Liverpool fans caused commotion. That was what I heard the most.
What do you mean Liverpool fans?
No. Don't say that. I think if you are listening to Thierry and Carragher, they outrightly said that UEFA are just trying to scapegoat the Liverpool fans. Um, the management and arrangement outside the stadium was atrocious. I think after the Madrid fans had entered and the Liverpool fans were outside, creating their red wall or whatever, when it was time to get in, they funneled the Liverpool fans through one gate. They had about 4 gates open, and they closed all 3 of them and opened one and started funneling them through one gate. That was why most of the fans started, there's something they say about people, when you push them to the wall, they push back. That's why some of the fans started jumping over the wall and something. But UEFA tried to spin the narrative and say
information we got was that
the fans arrived
late. About 50 fans or so didn't have tickets. They jumped over the fence and they entered the stadium.
Yeah. So
now, one hand they are saying they have tickets. On the other hand, they are saying they were fake tickets, bro. Like the organization.
So that's the thing, right? That's the thing. The Liverpool fans that paid for their tickets, right? They paid 400, 500 quid for their ticket, paid a couple £1,000 to get over to Paris, and now you tell them that they are going to miss the Champions League final and probably get refunded for some of their money. They are going to jump the fence now. It's just common human instinct. You can't spend that much money and take shit. I'm pretty sure almost everybody on this podcast will do similar. So I wouldn't completely blame the fans. In fact, I wouldn't even blame them at all. The organization should have been dealt with proper. Why didn't it happen to the Madrid fans? That's to tell you that something was maybe prejudice, maybe just attitude, but something went wrong somewhere, and these Liverpool fans were treated poorly. Assuming it was both sets of fans that hadn't entered properly, I would have understood some of that explanation. But you can't say all the Liverpool fans were unruly or they.
Okay, so what you're saying is like an agenda against Liverpool fans, right?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that we have to be open to all these possibilities. Why does UEFA keep having these issues? Why is it just UEFA?
Florentino Perez. Actually, I don't know. It's just crazy that something like this is happening. So I don't think that happened, or we've heard of something like this in previous Champions League now. So
this got me thinking. Yeah, when I thought about what happened, then I thought about the World Cup that we are going to be having in December and how it was mad with controversy and bribery allegations, use of slavery to build the stadium, and yet upon every single allegation that I think we haven't even heard so much allegations on one World Cup bid without it being switched, and yet the World Cup is still going ahead in the same place, same time, no investigations, nothing.
Money,
brother. I was about to say Aka was just faster than I. Money, brother. There's nothing to talk about. It's just money.
But I think was this not the reason why they kicked out the past FIFA and UEFA presidents, and yet the same thing, no change, nothing.
The money has already started shifting hands.
I think Blatter was like so obviously corrupt. Blatter didn't even hide it.
Infantino is just taking it by the side or something. I actually don't know what's going on,
but do you guys think there is merit in this Winter World Cup? Like, forgetting about the corruption and everything, but do you guys think it makes sense to suddenly change the World Cup timing for a particular bid play during the winter?
It's not so. I don't think it's wrong. Like, as far as they have the capacity to do that, like it's fine. As far as the country hosting it have, and as long as like you make the conditions conducive, and I think they've done a lot of stuff towards that. So it's something different, but I don't know.
Change is always
it's what
but one thing you have to take into account is the fact that these players are going to have their calendars uprooted all of a sudden, and they are going. Some of them that are they are used to having winter breaks, like the likes of Real Madrid, Bayern Munich,
they
Barcelona.
Will still have their winter break. Won't they?
Because the World Cup technically won't have it.
The World Cup
ends have
December 18th. The
time
World Cup
to
ends
rest.
December 18th. So I'm sure they'll still have to maybe January.
They have winter breaks now. One, then two, it's not every team that will reach the final. So it's going to the number of players that are getting to the final will be reducing, and players will still have their breaks. I don't expect to see Lewandowski complaining about the World Cup because I don't expect Iran to go so far.
Okay, then what about England, where they play two different cups, play Europe,
England are
play
so
the
stupid.
league?
Do you know when England are resuming? December around 26th or so. Final is 18th. They can't even wait till January. Like England are such a useless country.
No, it's not just one thing you have to look at is the integrity of the league, right? And the amount of fixtures these people play. They play, some teams might play maybe 10 times in the League Cup, play another 10 times in the FA Cup, play in Europe, just like Liverpool, play so many games this season, and at the end of the day, you now have them playing in the World Cup again. I think Mane is going to the World Cup, right?
Sorry. Anything that will play up to 10 times in the League Cup has to be maybe Championship or League 2 team. That's what I think.
Yeah. Even
like 5.
Yeah.
And then FA Cup, the max is I think 6 or 7.
Yeah, so I don't expect, like, for the League Cup, they already start qualifiers. As soon as the season starts, I see qualifiers, knockout. Same thing with FA Cup. They play lower league and non-league teams. They play over the course of the first half of the season before the second half when Premier League teams start playing. So it shouldn't really, I don't know. It's still going to be quite unique and it will be interesting to see what happens. It'll be interesting to see how the
Okay. I think it's almost time that we wrap up. But before we wrap up, can we discuss?
I think we should talk about Serie A for a bit. And
we
are doing like a season wrap up.
Yeah, that's precisely where I was headed to. I was headed to the Lions then. You know, I heard that I saw a post by Zlatan where he said he played without his ACL for 6 months.
Yeah,
so he played without his anterior cruciate ligament in his knee for 6 months. That is, I don't know whether to say it's incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. He could, it must have been extremely painful. I think Zach Levine had something similar. He didn't play without it completely, but I think he has an injury in his knee, and he had to get fluid sucked out as well, consistently every week. And that is not in any way fun. Going to the doctors every week, getting fluid sucked out of your knee, having to warm it up, and that's insane, as Zlatan, man.
You see, that right there is the mentality monster that we are talking about, not those red people from Merseyside. I don't know why they call them mentality monsters. Zlatan is the mentality monster. Mentality monster is Zlatan. But I like what AC Milan has done, and it's kind of impressive. Yeah, it's kind of impressive that I think the last time they won it, Zlatan was there, right? And he came back and he won it with them again. So I think Milan has gone full circle. They've gone through the Man U route. I believe Man U in the next 5 years they'll come back on.
Speaking of the Serie A, a certain man was I think leading Serie A in goals scored as at January. Then he left his team and went to Juventus. I'm talking about Dusan Vlahovic, or I think that's his name.
Vlahovic.
Yeah. And he ended the season with 24 goals. I think he had, was it 17 or 18 when he got to Juventus in January, and he scored maybe 6 or 7 goals towards the end of the season. So if you look at what he had to deal with and the amount of goals he scored, doesn't that make it more impressive what Cristiano did in his final season at Juventus?
Why does everything have to be about Cristiano Ronaldo?
So I wouldn't want to that question. I don't know how to answer it. People have the first half of the season. Remember Ozil at Arsenal.
Remember Salah this season.
Remember Salah this season. So it happened.
Yeah. No, but what if you look at Juventus, right? I think after Vlahovic, the person with the second most goals was Dybala with 10 goals. So they had someone score 10 goals for them this year, another person scored 7 goals, and the last person that was there scored about 30 something goals. So I think it shows that they don't create a lot of chances, and they are not a team that will provide a goal scorer with a lot of goals, and yet someone was still able to score
when
over 30.
When Ronaldo was there, Allegri had not come back now. He hadn't now. So
they played under a certain Ronaldo, inexperienced Italian Sosa.
No, I'm just Italian
played on that side.
He didn't
Yeah.
play.
He played under Pirlo as well.
He played under Sarri.
Under Pirlo.
Yeah,
Sorry, yeah.
he played under Sarri first season, I think.
So it's a different system. We can't use that as a basis to compare. However,
I just think it's altogether impressive anyway. I just think what him and Lukaku did in the Serie A is altogether impressive, considering the fact that nobody got to 30 this year. It was 27, 24, 21. Really impressive.
Who won?
Immobile, 27.
Again, that guy.
Lautaro for
21.
21.
Well,
And I think
also did well.
just before. Yeah. They did very well. They were in the running up until the I think final day.
Yeah,
final
they
day.
won the Italian Cup.
Yeah,
So,
and just before we end, let's say a few words for FC Barcelona. That they had
Why?
a little
We are
renaissance.
not talking about Barca. They didn't win anything. We are going to talk about
they didn't do
PSG.
anything.
But they had a little renaissance towards the end of the
Bayern
season.
Munich.
A little renaissance.
I think
do you really
before
want
January-
to say that?
Before
Do
January,
you really
they were-
want to say they had a little renaissance?
Yeah, no, they had. I just really wanted to say that word anyway. They had before January they were really poor, and after they got Aubameyang, Adama Traore, and a few other players, they made a jump and they surprisingly ended second in the league, even though the rest of the teams were extremely poor.
Yes, the other teams were extremely poor.
The other
because,
teams were
the
all
points
rubbish,
difference.
bro.
The points difference.
other teams
is
were
still
all
no
rubbish.
difference between them and Real Madrid. So nothing really crazy happened. It's just that other teams were poor, and that's what we have to say about Barcelona, please. So
Yeah.
moving on.
Okay.
ETH to Man U. Ethereum is going to
Eric Ten Hag. Yeah.
Why
yeah.
do you
Just
guys
end
like
it,
talking about like rubbish things?
It's,
Like,
it-
we've
it's
not
the,
talked
Ten-
about-
the Ten
we
Hag,
are talking
the Ten
about
Hag
league
season is
winners.
coming. Let's end
League
it there. But the
winners,
Ten Hag
and
season
then
is
you're
coming.
talking about Man United and Barcelona. Why?
Yes, Ten Hag is coming. Manchester is going for 10.
Do we have any other thing to
I
discuss?
need Zidane to be at PSG.
Do we have any other thing to discuss before
I
we wrap
really,
up?
really need Zidane to be at PSG next season.
What?
Like,
Who is
I
going
need-
to
I need-
PSG? Who? Sorry,
I
didn't
need.
get
I said I need. I need
I-
Zidane to be at PSG. I need him there. Like, he needs to be there. He will do great things with that team.
The thing with Zidane, I think is going to be a make or ma career choice if he goes to PSG, because he's only ever coached at Real Madrid, right? And while I would say he's not an excellent manager, right? If he goes to PSG and it goes awfully wrong, it reflects bad on his career, because the only other experience he's had was at Real Madrid.
Brother,
He's
he has won 3 Champions League trophies and 2
Yeah.
league trophies.
Yeah, I'm not disputing
So
that, right?
whatever
I'm just saying that
happens at
I'm just saying that
PSG,
it will reflect extremely
Whatever
badly.
happens
Just
at
like
PSG, and obviously he would win the league. So what's the worst that could happen? He
He
will
will
win
win
Champions
at
League.
yes, that's another thing, right?
He
It's
won't
not
win
obvious
Champions
that he
League.
wins the league, right? It's not obvious that he wins the league. I
With
think
Mbappe staying and
Pochettino's
Messi and
first
Neymar.
competition.
in Pochettino's
Really?
first season at
Really?
France, right?
Really?
They didn't win the
Zidane.
league one.
Zidane
So
And
a lot
the
of
people
things
that
will happen.
won, the people that won the league, where did they end up this season? League.
Yeah.
Pochettino came halfway through the season. No, do you get? Pochettino didn't start his first season. He came like
Perfecto.
midway through.
Yes,
I
I
don't
came out-
feel today going.
I was sacked at Tottenham.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, right? That's what I'm thinking is he should get an easier job. He should go through a career path like Pep Guardiola.
Guy, there's no
If
easier
he goes
job
through,
than
if he goes
PSG
through
right now.
a career path like Jose Mourinho, where he takes difficult jobs and jobs that
PSG
people
is
have
not
failed at,
difficult,
it
guys.
reflects badly. PSG is quite a difficult job because their
It's not
expectations
difficult.
are not.
Do you think managers think about these things that you're saying? Easier job.
They actually
difficult
do,
job?
and that's why
Do you
Pep has only
think? Do you
coached at
think
Bayern
if
Munich and Man
Mourinho?
City.
Do you think if Mourinho gets a job at a very good club that has so much money like PSG, he will not
won't
go?
go.
You'll be thinking he'll be looking for an
It's
harder
just so
job.
crazy that you think
Are you
that-
normal?
No,
Bro,
that's not what I'm
no,
saying,
no.
right? What I'm saying is there are some managers that bide their time, right, and only take jobs that have a low percentage of risk. no matter how many clubs go to them, they won't accept until they get a club that they do okay.
I don't know about that, but whatever. Zidane. If Zidane, I was saying Zidane at PSG. You are bringing many other things. Like if they approach him,
you do wonder because he has good man management, and then Zidane has this aura of you have to just listen to him.
Did you just say Zidane has good man management? Could you repeat that?
Yes, he has good man management.
James Rodriguez, Gareth Bale.
I remember.
I don't think you do. You really understand what man management means?
I think
he doesn't have to be on good terms with every player. Bro.
It's not about Zidane doesn't have good management, right? Number one is what carried Zidane majority of the time at Madrid is number one, he's very good tactically. I won't take that away from him. That's what he gets from being a good midfielder. Midfielders are very good tactically. That's why they are successful when they become manager. But aside from that, he was a Madrid legend. He commanded the respect of the dressing room. So if Zidane says do this, you have no choice but to do that.
But
when you say he has
France,
when you say he has
France, he's a French legend. Right? He won the World Cup for them. So like everybody there.
I don't buy into saying he's a man manager.
Guys, it's enough. I think we've already gone way past our limits, so we should just
yes.
We can keep talking about this and keep going. Okay, so
yes,
go to me.
So, do you guys have any other thing to say, or can we wrap up now?
No, I think
we are wrapping up. We are wrapping up.
Who wins game 7? Who wins game 7?
Game 7. My money is on. My money is on playoff Jimmy. It might be difficult because he's basically against the Celtics wall.
Question: Heat or Celtics?
Playoff Jimmy.
Don't give us your reason.
Miami Heat.
Simple. Kabiru, Mr. Alimi.
Miami. I'll go with Miami too.
Alright, so Heat. Aka, I know you are with Celtics, so there's no need to ask.
Charles. Who are you with?
I'm with Heat.
Okay.
Wow.
But I'm with Celtics, but like there's a very, very, very realistic chance Heat will beat them because
the thing is a game Miami, 7, right? With a
Miami,
with two tight teams.
Home court.
It's a game 7 with two tight teams, so there's no way to tell. It can go anyway, depending on. I even think the game should go down to the wire. I would love to see a game that goes down.
We'll find out later this evening. So, guys, it's been a very, very wonderful ride.
An extremely long podcast.
And a very long.
Thanks for having you guys. Thanks for you guys coming on.
Thank you so much.
It was nice talking to you guys.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.